Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. So I do want to talk about this theory that many fans are having in regards to Marvel Studios scrapping Kang. Many have been claiming that Kang the Conqueror will no longer be the main villain for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And let me give everybody here some context on why everybody is saying this. So when Jonathan Majors first appeared as He Who Remains in the Loki season finale, when Kevin Feige saw his performance, he was like, this is amazing. The way that he acted in many of our scenes, this is outstanding. Why not make Kang the Conqueror as the main villain and the main antagonist for the MCU moving forward that leads up towards Secret Wars? So it was a very last minute decision and it was never planned. And you guys already know that when things are never really planned out, right, and you plan everything last minute, it does not really end up going well. But that was the decision that Kevin Feige has made. He said, I love the way that Jonathan Majors played He Who Remains, and I want to see this moving forward and potentially go into the big screen. Now, in the past 2 years, after seeing Jonathan Majors play multiple roles and different variants of Kang, us as fans and the general audience never really resonated with the character. Marvel Studios never showed why he was a real threat. Like for example, in Loki season 1 itself, the finale, he died. In Quantumania, he died because of a bunch of ants, like many do say. It was an easy 1v1 battle between Ant-Man and Kang. And many of the people, right, the general audience and us as Marvel fans, we were like, okay, that's kind of awkward. He has just gotten beaten by ants, also beaten by Scott Lang. But like an hour ago, he claimed that he beat multiple Avengers, different version of Avengers through different universes, and then he got beaten by ants? Really? That's kind of awkward. That's kind of weird, don't you think? Is this guy really going to be the next big bad for the next Avengers film? And so it was very unsatisfying. And you know, they should have showed Kang the Conqueror killing some Avengers, right? Maybe killed Thor, a different version of Captain America, a different version of Iron Man. If you showed Kang the Conqueror killing different versions of the Avengers to the massive audience, that would have been something that the fans would have resonated with. They would have been like, oh, those are the heroes that we saw in Endgame, in Infinity War. You're telling me that Kang the Conqueror beat all of those different variants of those superheroes? Wow, this guy is a real threat. They could have showed that in Quantumania. They could have also showed him being casted by the Council of Kangs, having conversations with the different variants of Kangs. They could have done so many things, but they chose the route that they chose, and what we saw in Ant-Man Quantumania. Then we saw in Loki season 2, the finale. Again, He Who Remains died. Even Victor Timely, another variant, he no longer exists. And so we're like, okay, so he got beaten like 3 to 4 times already, and we are supposed to feel like this is the next big threat for Kang Dynasty. And this is the reason why many say that it hasn't really been working. We're not really resonating with this villain. It doesn't feel like a Thanos level threat. And so here's what gets very interesting, and this is how everybody is starting to speculate why Marvel Studios could be moving away from Kang. So in the finale of Loki season 2, we saw the TVA claim that they're taking care of all the Kangs that could come up in different universes, and they're gonna erase them before they even become Kang the Conqueror. So they're like the police for the bad people. And so moving forward, Marvel Studios now have the potential to say, oh yeah, Kang the Conqueror is no longer the big bad because he is being taken care of by the TVA, and because that is their sole purpose, right? And so in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, they have a great reason to say why Kang the Conqueror will no longer show up. And so now we sit here today with a lot of rumors stating that Marvel Studios have tried all angles on trying to get Kang to feel like a main threat to us fans, but because they have failed, they have closed it out with Loki season 2, and now this story can be shut down. Now we move on to real life, right? Let's step away from the Marvel Cinematic Universe and let's talk about what's currently going on within the direction of Kang Dynasty. And it has been said, according to Deadline, that Destin Daniel Cretton, who also made Shang-Chi and will be making Shang-Chi 2 and is currently also working on Wonder Man series, he is no longer going to direct Avengers Kang Dynasty. Also Jeff Loveness, who wrote Quantumania, he is no longer going to be the writer for Avengers the Kang Dynasty. So with the director gone and also with the writer also gone, again the speculation continues to rise, and many fans are starting to think that maybe Marvel Studios are listening to us and they know that Kang is simply just not working. Now many have been saying maybe it could be creative differences between the director and Kevin Feige. Could it be because Destin Daniel Cretton has too much on his plate because he's working on multiple projects? Or could it actually be that Marvel Studios and Kevin Feige are working on creating a different movie and stepping away from the title of Avengers the Kang Dynasty? Because going back to what I said, right, we're going to go on a full circle. Kevin Feige has all the permission in the world to scrap Kang as the main threat due to the story that they have told in Loki season 2 and its finale. They simply maybe just said, okay, Kang is not resonating with the fans, he's not a real threat, and even in the box office, we're not making as much money as we used to, and we need to gain our fans back and gain back the general audience. Just look at Secret Invasion, look at Ant-Man Quantumania, look at Ms. Marvel. A lot of of these projects have been doing poorly because the fans are simply just not interested anymore because of the story that they have been telling. It is not compelling. Now, we don't know for sure that this theory is 100% correct, but it really does seem like it. It really does seem like we will be heading towards a different direction. Like, we never know. Maybe Kevin Feige is saying, I just want new people to direct Avengers Kang Dynasty to make sure this project ends up being a 10 out of 10, but it just doesn't seem like it. And let's just continue to go with this theory, assuming that this is true. Maybe the direction that they could go to is to bring in Doctor Doom and have him become the main villain for the MCU moving forward. Because think about it, the main villain for Secret Wars and the main antagonist for that story, it is Doctor Doom. He is part of the story. And so for Avengers 5, why not call it Avengers Doom War or Avengers Doomsday or Avengers Rise of Doom? And if you have to push this project until 2026 to have time to make a good movie and build the villain's arc up, then yes, do it. Push back the project. Like, cement those seeds of Doctor Doom in the next 5 to 8 projects that we are going to be having between now and Avengers 5. So give us hints of Doctor Doom in Spider-Man 4 and Fantastic Four, Deadpool 2, Shang-Chi 2, maybe Eternals 2, Thunderbolts, Captain America 4. You can build a whole new story and you have the movies and you have the time. So make it happen. So whether you do have Jonathan Majors out of Marvel Studios, whether he is guilty or not, which I don't even think matters, you can always just bring back Kang the Conqueror back into Secret Wars. Because going back to the comics, in the story of Secret Wars, Doctor Doom is not the only villain. Kang is also there. Ultron is also there. So if you want to introduce Kang the Conqueror, again, you can do that in Secret Wars and you guys can say, hey guys, you guys remember that villain that we first introduced post Endgame? Yeah, he's back now and bigger and badder than ever before. So let me know what you guys think about this whole situation that Marvel Studios is going through and the potential direction that they can also go to. Do you guys think that Marvel should move away from Kang the Conqueror or continue with him? And if you believe that we should not continue with Kang the Conqueror, do you believe that Doctor Doom should be the next big bad? Let me know in the comment sections down below. Thank you guys so much for watching and I will see you guys in the next video.